Welcome to the show, guys. Happy Saturday. Massive episode here today. We are talking about 5 running backs you must have that I absolutely love, that I have rostered myself in some high-stakes leagues, guys. These running backs are primed for an amazing season. You have to draft them, okay? Big episode. And fantasy football is officially back. If you are new to the channel, if you're just discovering it, this is the only channel giving you the truth, putting you light years ahead of the consensus, aka the consensus. Guys, smash it, tap it, slap it, hit the thumbs up, grab the t-shirt below, turn on that bell for NFL breaking news as well, and of course, grab a ticket to the summit. If you want a chance to talk to some of these running backs, one of which I'm actually mentioning here in this video, grab your ticket. Kyron Williams, Trey Benson, Rashid Shaheed, Tajay Spears, Pat Frymuth. We're all going to be online together. You have a chance to ask them questions, and you're entered for a PS5 giveaway. Grab the 16-round draft solution and the summit as a combo. I've linked them below, guys. It'll actually put you guys light years ahead of the competition. The 16 rounds will. And the summit will put you in a total immersion situation, guys. You'll be totally immersed in the fantasy experience, okay? Grab the combo below. And, of course, smash and hit the thumbs up. Guys, I'm ready to talk about these 5 running backs. I'm super excited about all of them. I ended up doing a 2K buy-in league about, I would say, a month ago, a month and a half ago. And I ended up getting 2 of these running backs. So I'm very, very happy. But these are my must-have 5 running backs. So you're going to get a lot of insight in this video. And there's so many running backs that people are drafting. Now, I was in another Superflex league just recently. Just finishing drafting that one up. And literally some people are going 0 RB, and their best running back is David Montgomery. I would hate it if my RB1 was David Montgomery. It's ludicrous, guys. You have to be loading up on good running backs in a good position to succeed. That's very, very, very important, okay? So let's get to it. And in the comments below, let me know below, make this interactive, which is a running back that you must have. Love to get your feedback, okay? The first running back I must have is Bijan Robinson. Guys, the sky is the limit. We already talked about this in many other videos. Coaching staff, owners are all saying they got to get the ball to Bijan on every single play, or as much as possible for that matter. They finally have a good quarterback under center in Kirk Cousins, who's going to launch the ball downfield. Mooney, I'm not too excited about. They've got Drake London, they got Kyle Pitts, so they've got some options there that could get the ball, spread the defenses out wide, open things up for Bijan, who's primed for an amazing season. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was completely limited last year. Like, guy was running out looking amazing. Go look up his highlights. He looks amazing on every play. Explosive, phenomenal vision, ultra elusive. I mean, he's got every quality. He can catch the ball. He can run hard. He's got a nose for the end zone. He's got every skill to make him a top running back. Never mind a top 3, top 5, the top running back in fantasy football. Bijan is absolutely primed. Now, again, I'm going to mention it one more time. People are saying, well, you're pronouncing his name wrong. No, I'm actually the only one pronouncing it right. I'm not going to change, and go with the herd. They're mispronouncing it. He's not French. It's not Bijan. There's no B-E-E, and there's no J-H-O-N. It's Bijan, as in bi-weekly and ran. So I love Bijan this year. Phenomenal talent. Primed, and if you ask me who I'm going first overall, it's Bijan. It's not CMC. I've talked so many times on why Christian McCaffrey is going to go down. He's going to go down, okay? I'm telling you right now, what goes up must come down. Super Bowl hangover, recently got married, 28, 29 years old, coming off 2 pinnacle seasons, totally different offense. Well, not really totally different, but there's so many other options there. They drafted Ricky Pearsall there, right? They got other options. Isaac Arendo, is he going to get some work? He ran an amazing 40-yard dash. He looked good at the combine. There is other options there. George Kittle now with this new documentary that came out on TV. It's streaming right now. He's under the light a little bit more, shining, right? Maybe they're going to start feeding him more. I know it's TV, but sometimes, it's a precursor. They're like, hey, man, it's a foreshadow that they're going to highlight these guys more. Deebo Samuel as well was in that doc. So, guys, there's just so many options there, and CMC, I'm telling you, is going to decline this year. That's a whole other tangent, a whole other video. So, Bijan's my first overall, going back to him. Love him, okay? The second running back, I absolutely love. Again, you want to stay to the end. The last one, super excited about him, and he's a big-time sleeper running back as well. But the second guy here I absolutely love is Saquon Barkley. Now, some indicators that he's going to do well. Now, so many people are so high on Christian McCaffrey, but he's had his rise. He's had his pinnacle year. Barkley's been down a couple years, right? And these guys, I think it was the 1 year, it was 2019 where they had like similar type years. Barkley's just been on a terrible offense, hasn't been able to get it going. This is the year where Barkley gets it going. Amazing, one of the best O-lines in the NFL. They've got Jalen Hurts, who again could steal some goal line work, but I'm not really concerned. I'll tell you why. There is no committee for Barkley. He's the man. Where you're looking at other situations like Jahmyr Gibbs and other situations where everybody's in a committee where you guys are saying, oh, I'm worried about some goal line work from Jalen Hurts, stealing my goal line touchdowns. And he will. He'll steal a couple, but he had 15 last year. That's going to regress. It was such a pinnacle year in goal line touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. That's going to come down. So I'm not really worried too much about that. But you're drafting Jahmyr Gibbs ahead of Barkley or in and around the same ADP, and we had Montgomery steal 13 goal line touchdowns and 200 attempts. So I'd rather contend with a quarterback than contend with another running back, and there's no other running back that's going to get in the way of Saquon Barkley. Another reason I love Saquon Barkley is a couple more reasons, actually. Number one, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He left the Giants, division rival, got a lot of heat from the fan base saying, why are you leaving? We wish you the worst, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to prove them wrong. So if he cares anything about fan base and about ego and swagger, he's going to be proving them. And then the main thing for me when I look at Saquon Barkley is it's that committee, right? Volume, workhorse. He is going to get it. And you got to understand, guys, the Eagles are a great offense. And you take a look at last year. This is a perfect example of a point of reference. This is huge. DeAndre Swift last year, who sucks. Like, Swift is one of the worst running backs in the NFL. The guy played 10 games in his first 3 or 4 years. Go look at how many games he played. I don't have the exact numbers. It's 4 games season 1 or something. He hadn't finished the season. He actually finished the season with the Eagles. And if Swift can get 220 plus attempts and finish the season, that's a really good indicator for Saquon Barkley to have a boom year. This is why I love Saquon this year, barring injury, which again could happen, right? Hopefully not, because I'm invested in him in a couple leagues as my RB2. But dude, primed. Love him this season. This is his year. He will finish ahead of CMC this year, okay? I think he's a better talent than CMC, okay? So we've got Byjan, we've got Saquon. The third running back I love, we talk about old running backs, but I'm making an exception for Derrick Henry. I just saw a video of him training. The guy absolutely looks phenomenal. It's Derrick Henry. He is a special breed of human. I don't think he's even human. I think he's completely out of this world. He's a phenomenal talent. He's still strong. And now, again, he's going to a great offense. Now, again, he's contending with Lamar Jackson, who puts up running back numbers. This is contrary to everything I've said every single year, where I've always said, stay away from running backs that have quarterbacks that are putting up top 10 running back numbers. Did you follow all that? So Lamar Jackson pretty much puts up top 10 running back numbers, and he's a quarterback. But I really think that this year they're going to start throwing the ball a lot more, and they're going to lean more heavily on the run, just for the sheer preservation of Lamar Jackson, who's been hurt for many years prior to last year finishing a season. This guy gets hurt all the time, and they want to take that pressure off him. And again, similar situation where there's zero committee for Henry. He's the man. He's the alpha. He's the guy. He's going to get the goal line work. He's going to eat this year. Will he get 280 attempts? Possibly not. But I'm expecting 220 attempts as a floor for Derrick Henry and 10 touchdowns on the ground as a floor. He's going to come in energized. And again, prior to, I'd say a couple months ago, prior to this summer, I was talking about you don't want to cross the streams too much, where you want to go old running back, new team. You're crossing the streams. Remember the old Ghostbusters, guys? Ghostbusters don't cross the streams. I feel like it's okay to cross the streams with Barkley and Henry this year. I really feel this could be their last hurrah. Would I want to draft these guys next year? Possibly not. There's other guys, other running backs that are going to emerge, 2 of which I'm going to talk about right now. But I'm telling you, this is probably their last hurrah. This is the last year I'm taking Henry. I think he's good for another good solid year. And I'm going to go through with it, okay? So Henry, and you can get him as late as round 3. He's falling to round 3. Jimmy Maverick was talking to me. He did a best ball draft. He fell to round 4. So a lot of people are sleeping on him. And a big part of that, and here's another thing you want to be aware of when we're talking fantasy football draft strategy, is a lot of wide receivers like Nico Collins, DJ Moores, guys that I'm not drafting, guys that are in, three-headed monster wide receiver situation are coming off very early, which is really opening the opportunity for you guys to get workhorses like Saquon Henry for round 2 to 3, okay? So that is a little draft strategy tip, which I explained. If you haven't got 16 rounds, grab 16 rounds. I've linked it below. There's a lot of opportunity in rounds 2 to 5 where you can get those workhorses, not even running back, but even wide receiver, where other people are guessing at wide receiver, drafting, DJ Moore or Keenan Allen or Stephon Diggs, where they're not even certain who the one is on those offense. Okay, we have three-headed monster situations. So you want to be careful, especially in the earlier rounds, anchoring your team with guys that are primed for volumes, and the guys I just mentioned with Barkley and Henry are absolutely primed to get a ton of volume, okay? We got 2 more here that I absolutely love. Again, if you're new to the channel, smash the tab beside, but drop it below. Let me know below who you absolutely love and grab the 16-round draft solution and combo with the ticket to the summit. And you have a chance to actually talk to one of these guys online live. The last guy here on this video. It's going to be absolutely amazing, okay? Again, happy Saturday. I'm doing these outdoor video vlogs because I like the outdoor environment. Get some fresh air, breathe it in. We got some sun, we got some wind, we got some planes flying overhead here in the Northeast. It's beautiful. Summer's here, so I'm going to be doing these on the, in the summer, these outdoor videos. Because again, I'm in the studio pretty much all week with Jimmy and Tim doing the longer videos, but I like these shorter content, so we can have that one-on-one, right? I like the one-on-one. Okay, so drop a comment below. Which running back do you absolutely love? Again, I want to make this interactive and grab the 60-round ticket. All right, guys. All right, the next guy here, number 4, absolutely love him, and I'm hoping it could go one or two ways with this guy. The guy I'm talking about is Zamir White. It can go one or two ways. This guy comes out and becomes a top 10 running back, or he ends up being Dameon Pierce last year. And I'll tell you why it's not going to be Dameon Pierce. Now, we saw it last year. Dameon Pierce was actually set to be the RB1. Okay, this is very important. I want to talk and really hammer this point home. Dameon Pierce was set to be the RB1. There was no committee there. Singletary sucked on the Bills for years. He came in and he just outplayed Dameon Pierce. It was like they played it politically correct at the beginning of the year. They said, okay, Dameon Pierce is our one. He's kind of the guy that's been here longer. In comes Devin Singletary, and he just outplayed him. And that shows you how bad Dameon Pierce really was, because a guy like Singletary sucks, and he came in and he outplayed him. Now, you have a situation with the next 2 running backs, which I'm going to talk about. So this goes to both of these guys as I'm talking about them. You look at a guy like Zamir White, okay? The only guy behind him is Alexander Mattison. Now, they're talking about possibly bringing in another running back for depth. Maybe Dalvin Cook comes in. I'm a little more concerned about Dalvin Cook than Mattison. He's going to be annoying if he's going to get some work, right? But Zamir White really has to make a case for himself. We don't really know what Zamir White is capable of. We got a small sample size, I should say, of big capability at the end of the season, out-rushing pretty much everybody. He got more attempts than anybody down the stretch, last 4 or 5 games. 100+ rushing yards in multiple games, 25 rushing attempts in those games. He was the workhorse. 230 targets are freed up with Josh Jacobs. So there's a ton of upside. Now, I'm not comparing him to Dameon Pierce, right? But what I'm saying is that it could be that situation where it could bust. But I'm optimistic, and I have belief and conviction based on what I saw at the end of last year, based on the current talent behind him with Alexander Mattison, who sucks. The guy had, 0 touchdowns as a starter last year. The guy sucks. He's a backup, always been a backup. I'm not concerned about Mattison. He's a depth piece, right? So it's Zamir's job to lose. He is the man. He is the man. At the time of this recording, I'm telling you, I've got him in all my leagues. This is a guy I'm drafting in all my leagues round 5 and after as my RB3 to 4. Now, am I going complete robust RB? No, I'm mixing in either and I explained this in 60 rounds, you can mix in a quarterback in those first 5 picks, you can mix a tight end in those first 5 picks. You could do whatever you want, but what I'm saying is I'm getting Zamir rounds 4 to 6 in all my drafts, and he is primed to get a ton of volume. And again, we saw a snippet of it last year. The sky's the limit. And you're saying, well, Joe, can I go 0 RB and make Zamir my 1? And that's very viable. He could be. But you are taking a risk by not drafting a Byjan early, a Breece Hall, or someone like that, one of these guys that is the clear-cut RB1 that's proven. You know what I'm saying? So if you are going Zamir, there is that upside. He could finish as a top 10, but you want to make sure that you've got those guaranteed guys ahead of him. So Zamir White, absolutely love him. Love the talent. Love the opportunity, okay? The last guy here, he's actually coming to the Fantasy Sports Summit, and I'm telling you guys, like, there was a comment that just came out. The guy, by the way, is Trey Benson. A comment just came out literally today. I was looking at the news. James Conner saying that, okay, James Conner, first of all, is washed. He's lucky he even got the numbers that he did last year. And that was his first 1,000-yard rushing season, like 8 or 9 seasons that he's played. He's always been a backup. He was backup to wash up Le'Veon Bell, and he came out today and said something like, "Oh, that's my floor. You haven't seen nothing yet." Dude, he's scared. Trey Benson is the starter. He's gonna be starter day one, and if it's not day one, it's gonna be day two. He's the most talented. He should have been drafted in the second round. The Cardinals love this guy. Ran a 4.39, top rookie prospect coming out of this draft. And when he comes on the show, he's coming on this month, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say, listen, you are the starter. I'm going to tell him straight to his face. So, and he probably already knows it. Trey Benson, guys, is going to be one of the biggest steals at the running back position. Love him. I'm actually upset. I ended up missing him in one of my drafts. Who did I get? I had to get, it's a two quarterback. It's a super flex, sorry. And I had to get my third quarterback. And I thought Benson would fall because his ADP was like, I think he was like the, 8th or 9th running back or something left to come off, right? And I'm like, dude, he might come back around. I needed my third QB. It was a tough decision, man. It breaks my heart. But in the super flex league, I missed out on Benson. But mind you, I did go heavy running back early. I ended up stacking, who did I stack? I got, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, and Jahmyr Gibbs are my running backs, I believe. Or is it by Jan? Either I got too many leagues drafting. I think it's Saquon because everybody went quarterback early. Anyway, long story short, in another league I have by Jan and Saquon. So many leagues, guys. It's too much. So I missed out on Benson, and I'm really upset about it. I'm telling you guys, as a friend, as someone you listen to on this channel, as a listener, just try to get Benson on your roster. He's just super affordable. Don't miss out on him because the upside of him is going to be massive, okay? Connor is not the answer. Similar to other situations where I don't think a lot of these running backs are the answer, but they don't have a Benson. Zach Moss, Chase Brown didn't really wow us last year, right? So Zach Moss might have more opportunity there. But when you're looking at a guy like James Conner, years to us were not wowed, and you got a young dynamic player in Trey Benson, dude, draft the upside player, guys. He's the future, okay? Connor's not going to do it. He's not even, and he always gets hurt. He shouldn't even be on the field. Connor, just take the back seat like you always have. Trey Benson's the man, all right? Those are 5 running backs I love. And guys, make sure you guys get these guys on your roster. If you get all 5 or close to it, that'd be amazing. But again, these guys, this will put you light years ahead of the consensus consensus because you got those workhorse running backs, and 2 of them are values, Zamir and Benson, top 10 upside that are coming off for immense value, all right? If you're new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it, grab 16 rounds, guys. Have yourself a great weekend. Go out, enjoy some sun, get outside, and I'll keep the content rolling. I'll have another video for you guys tomorrow, okay? We'll talk soon, guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.